Well, it is Monday. Just came out to try to find my arrow from Saturday night, and I found it. Laying right here, 54 yards from the treehouse blind. And I shot him, I don't know, 20 yards that way, I guess. And he died right over there, about 40 yards, 50 yards. So, pretty good deal. Really happy that I found this thing. I don't know what these cost. Oh, there's a worm on it. Hopefully I didn't destroy it too bad. A little muddy. I did go through a little bit of Hurricane Helene rain. But hopefully we can sharpen it up, put it right back in the quiver. Let's clean it up, see what we can do with it. So it is Monday afternoon. I'm just cleaning up around the house here, cleaning up the building. Long weekend, a lot going on. Hunted on Saturday morning and afternoon. Killed that buck Saturday evening around 6:30. Just cleaning up because it took me, like yesterday we had it hanging in here and we just decided to cut it up ourselves because it was like 65 degrees out at night and humid, and I think it was 75 during the day and humid. So just decided to get it over with and just do it ourselves before the meat spoiled. And we have a lot to can, and we got roasts and steaks out of it, and I have some marinating for jerky. Did some other odd things here in the building, just getting it cleaned up. But I wanted to talk about my gear and how it performed and how everything worked out. So I'm shooting a Matthews, don't mind the mess in my truck here, V3, so it's a few years old. I just went up to 75 pounds this year for draw weight, and I switched arrows for the first time in a couple decades. When I bought my Matthews Switchback XT in 2006, I was shooting Full Metal Jackets, which I have a bundle of right here at my archery wall. Shooting Full Metal Jackets. I've been shooting these for almost 20 years. I think I bought this bow in 2006. So, been shooting the same arrow since 2006. My FOC on these arrows are 8%. So, not very good. I've killed a lot of stuff with them, though. I mean, I can't say I didn't. My total arrow weight is like 480 grains. That's with lighted knock and broadheads, 100 grain. I'm shooting G5 strikers. They've killed just anything I ever shot them at, basically. They've also wounded a few things, but that's more for shot placement than the actual broadhead. But just blazer vanes come on the arrow factory. I do go with my own color. So, but for elk hunting, I've been watching a lot of Elk Shape and Podium Archer. Kind of piece in a pod there. They both live in Spokane. They elk hunt a lot. They see a lot. They shoot a lot. And they're on the cutting edge of gear because Podium Archer is a pro shop. So, and another friend of mine also talked me into getting Rip TKOs this year. So I went with the Rip TKOs. These are the one, whatever that's called, the V1. So the most expensive ones, essentially. I went with the AA Hunter Max to maximize broadhead stabilization, basically, and that heavier twist. Dan at Elk Shape really recommends that. I know he experiments a lot. That's kind of like his thing. But that's what I went with. The one thing I don't like about it is how high the vanes are. You can't stack them in my quiver very well with broadheads on because it's just too tight. They'll hit each other and they'll flex. So I do want to put lighted knocks on, but I just haven't got that far. I haven't shot much this year because I don't have like an elk hunt going on. Just didn't have the motivation, too much life going on, wife and kids and whatnot. For up front, I looked at Iron Will for inserts because I wanted more weight up front, but they were freaking expensive. So what I went with was the titanium inserts from Podium Archery, the half outs. These are 50 grain and 125 grain Grim Reaper Micro Hades, which is what Dan uses on elk shape a lot. I haven't shot these a lot. I shot them basically one time to make sure they flew good, and I don't think I shot them past 40 yards at foam. So this is the arrow that hit my buck. I was walking up to him. Well, I was walking on this trail basically through the bean field. You could see where he ran a swath really hard. It just was a different color, and I ended up finding the piece. I was looking where I shot, and I could not find it, and I didn't have a lot of time because my brother and his friend were there, and they were hosting a watch party for a football game, and they had to get home for it. So I was in a rush, and walking up to him, found that half. I'm like, well, I'm like, it's not even dirty. And then I look at this end, and I'm like, okay, there's blood on that end. So walked up to the deer. The broadhead was under the hide, but protruding up about, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 inches. You could tell it was the broadhead sticking up underneath the hide. So when I was gutting him, I pulled this out, and it looks like there is no damage to this broadhead at all. I don't know. So we're going to clean it up, and we're going to take a better look at it. But my initial thoughts were, I'm not impressed with this setup. My total arrow weight is 450. I went up to 75-pound draw weight this year to try to get more energy. My FOC is 20%, so it's through the roof. And my cutting diameter is smaller than it used to be because I went with these micro Hades. I didn't realize they were slightly smaller than the Hades, but they are. Anyway, they're 125s, and I was pretty disappointed that it didn't penetrate. I'm like, I didn't get a pass through? That's crazy. So upon further inspection, it hit him in the shoulder going in. It hit him in the leg. When we cut up that deer, we found that the humerus, the leg bone, was shattered. So this field point, or this broadhead, shattered his humerus. Went through, it didn't hit any ribs. It went between ribs going in, went through the cavity, didn't hit any ribs going out, and then it stuck under the hide. But when I peeled back the hide Saturday night, I was shocked at the bloodshot that was in there. I mean, it looked like I hit it with a gun. So there was massive trauma, a lot of energy. But I'm going to get this thing cleaned up, and I'm going to do a little better inspection on it. Just extremely fortunate in what happened. I missed the first shot. It shot over his back. Just excited. And then with those fletchings, they have such a standout. They really hit my face, so it's hard to get my anchor point the way I used to get it. I haven't shot it a lot since I've got the new arrows put together, enough to sight it in and know where it hits, basically. So I didn't have my anchor point set quite right because those fletchings just kind of bother me. They feel weird, and I kind of noticed that. And I shot right over his back, so he let me take a second shot and smoked him. All right, so just cleaned it up. It's in pretty good shape. The tip is bent just slightly, and one of the blades is bent a little bit. But for going through a humerus on a deer, I am impressed. So you can see the tip of the broadhead bends a little bit, and the blade facing up also bent a little bit. There's some slight chattering in the broadhead blades. So I mean, if I didn't have another one in the field, I 100% would shoot that again. I mean, he's going to be retired for a minute of practice, I think, now, but Not that I practice with broadheads very often, but impressed, to say the least, by this Grim Reaper Micro Hades 125 grain. This setup definitely did the trick on a whitetail at 60 yards. So 100%, I'm going to stick with them and keep using them. It seems to be a pretty good setup. I'm not 100% sold on the fletchings yet. I might just go back to Blazers. I might try some different AAEs. I think they're the Max Stealths. I wanted to try these for a broadhead stabilization, basically. I plan on shooting a lot this year. It just really hasn't happened. I wanted to have this thing dialed in months ago and shoot 3D this summer and stuff, but it just hasn't been a priority because I didn't have an out-of-state like elk hunt going on. So it kind of fell to the back burner. Super excited with it. Definitely going to stick with the arrows and the broadheads for now. I'm definitely going to stick with the arrows. The broadheads, I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick with those for a while. See how it performs on a couple more animals. I'd like to shoot a couple does with it and see how it performs.